man? We back. Marcy Sports Talk. Detroit Lions lose 23-30 down there in Houston, man. It was pretty much entertaining game for a second preseason game, man. Before the game, Stafford warmed up a little bit. I think he had something on his arm. I guess it was a thorn arm that Dave Burkett said he had like a Stafford, something he had on his arm. So not sure if he really hurt. That's what my guessing thinking. My guessing is. But talk about the game. First thing I gotta say is Jahlani Tavai is going to be a star in this league, man. I see why they drafted him, which a lot of people thought was premature. If you get a guy on your board that you like, go for him. A lot of times if you watch I don't watch a lot of deep film no more in football, but when you kind of watch kind of the deep film where you look at Jared Davis and he gets swallowed up by offensive linemen and lead blocking, maybe fullbacks or tight ends, and when he taking on the big uglies, he usually on the ground. Jahlani is taking on pulling blockers, lead blockers, linemen. He's engaging them, and he's able to shed the block, and he's able to make the tackle on the ball carrier. I think right now, just from a technical aspect, I'm not saying that when the lights come on, he's the better linebacker to play, but from a technical aspect, his technique to know how to engage the offensive lineman, keep his hands free, don't let them get to him, and he able to shed them and make the tackle. Right now, he's better than Jared Davis ever showed. Obviously, it's not versus the number one starters for 4 quarters, and they got deep game plan. But Tavai was the most impressive guy out there tonight. I'm just impressed. Then sideline to sideline, he ain't your big banger. You know what I'm saying? He not gonna go out there and look like Ray Lewis and make the shiny tackles or the flashy tackles. But the thing about the kid is he make the good tackle. He got good form. He wrap up, and I look forward to seeing him do some things in coverage when the season comes, and see how loose his hips are, and how he able to get his head around, and how he do versus the first team. But overall, I think the story was the backup quarterback position, and I've been preaching that since day one of the offseason. I've been saying the Lions need to get a serviceable Sean Hill, Drew Stanton, Mike McMahon type to back up Matthew Stafford. And now there's rumors that Stafford is having things on his arm by warming up. He may not be the healthiest. All of a sudden now he need management going into the second preseason game. Maybe they were day 20-something or close to 20-something in camp. Josh Johnson, a lot of people say he was a trash can juice, and the guy he beat out, Landry Jones from Oklahoma, played with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He didn't get the Lions job. Josh Johnson beat him out, but guess what? The thing about that guy was that he got signed by the XFL. He's the first official player to get signed by Vince McMahon's rebooted XFL team. I know people remember he hate me, but it takes time. Even a veteran like Josh Johnson, who is with his 13th team, the Lions, it just take time. He not go out there and light the world on fire. He been there since last Saturday. He's still trying to learn the verbiage, learn the receivers. So I'm going to take a lot from that. But David Fells, he looked good tonight. Tried to lead the comeback drive, didn't work. But he showed up tonight. And, that's what you want to see from a quarterback. When your job is on the line, even it might have been, against the third or fourth stringers, against Josh Johnson, kind of first and second stringers, and maybe some third stringers. At the end of the day, his job was on the line. We was talking about how he may not make the team if Tom 21 Savage come back, or he might be on the practice squad if they just only decide to carry 2 quarterbacks, or he might not be around at all. And you know what? That's the thing you want to see. You want to see at your quarterback's best, at his worst point. Is he gonna show up? Did David Fields give up tonight? No, he didn't give up. But he had a good showing. But we looking at Hockenson. He had a good catch for 22 yards. He tried to jump. I was like, oh no. He had a good block, and then obviously he had the penalty where I think he tried to block somebody, but he didn't cut block him or chop block him, whatever it was. And he went to the sideline like, I got a penalty. and I didn't actually even hit the guy on the block, yeah, that's the NFL. Just kind of send you a message, and they had a lot of penalties tonight. I think that'll clear up, but and I'm gonna get to back to the I'm gonna get to him real quick. Brandon Powell, he needed a prominent role on the team. Seriously, Brandon Powell, he deserved to get some real targets, man. He been making plays last year, this year, and I don't know if they hoeing him because he's a shorter player, but he deserves it, man. You know what I'm saying? He just go out there and make plays. End of last season, he made plays, and if Amendola, he does annually get hurt, let the kid Brandon Powell try to get a chance in the slots. Chris Billman said, well, I don't know if he make plays in practice, and the other commentator got like, yeah, he make a ton of plays in practice. It just seemed like a situation where Brandon Powell gonna be like Julian Edelman. Edelman, who was down there with the Dolphins, and the Dolphins did not the Edelman, but Wes Walker was down there with the Dolphins. They didn't know how to utilize him, and New England was able to utilize him. I think with Brandon Powell, if the Lions don't find a way to implement him in the offense, man, they keep playing him. Somebody gonna get that man and find out how to utilize him, and he gonna be a problem. Not saying he gonna be Brandon Cooks or Julian Edelman or Wes Walker in the slot, but I think he gonna make some plays for somebody. He stay getting open, lateral quickness is good, and he got some down the field speed, man. I know he's undrafted out of Florida, but I want to see him get a real chance while the lights is on, in my opinion. But defensive wise, Jalen Reeves-Maybin, he got called out by Matt Patricia, and he showed up tonight. He made a breakup, then he had another good play. Killebrew made a play later on in the game. Will Harris made a few good plays. I believe he was the one that picked the fumble up. I think it was caused by Romeo Rockwood. But for me, it's still no. I'm not concerned about the personnel. The reason I'm not concerned about the personnel with the Lions is for the simple fact that our starting defensive line ain't even out there, and some of our starting linebackers not out there. You got Harrison, he was dressed today. I don't know if he played. I don't think he played, but Arakwa, he a rotational guy. Robinson was the two rotational guys that actually played. You had a couple guys out there that I didn't even know who the hell they was. So once you get solidified up front with your rotation of Flowers, you get Hand back if he coming back. Devin Kennard start playing real starter minutes. Harrison, Daniels, so once you get that rotation, getting real funky with it, then you get Davis back in there, whatever his role going to be. Christian Jones, I think, played today for the first time, if I'm not mistaken, for a minute. It's going to be nice. And they lined up in the 3-4 front more tonight, man. So you're going to get a lot of different looks from the Lions. It's no cause for concern. Amari Aguawi, I think he gave up a catch tonight. Slay made a breakup on Hop. And then Hop came back and scored on Rashad Melvin. He made a breakup. I'm really not cause for concern because the front end work with the back end work with the front end. Once you start getting those big dudes up front and they start really showing blitzes and Matt Patricia start getting exotic, not just with his fronts, but start getting exotic with his stunts, twists, A-gap blitzes and linebacker blitzes. And right now, there's a lot of vanilla stuff going on right now, and that's it. You ain't gonna see a lot of what people got to show, defensive, offensive wise. So, eventually a lot of these guys you see out there like Summers, he probably won't make the team. Agnew won't make the team as a cornerback. He'll be a return guy. So a lot of these guys you see out here, man, you ain't gonna play no time soon. If they do, we in some fucking trouble. But I want to shout out to Andrew Adams. I think that's his name. Came from Tampa Bay. He got a pick tonight. He dropped the pick, then got caught it. So he been getting picks all off season, man. So don't be surprised if you see him in a lot of 3 safety situations. He's just a playmaker. He led the NFL. He was up in the NFL leaders in interceptions, man. And shout out to him, man, because he keep making plays. So my shining dudes of the night was Trelawney. I'm definitely I like what he doing out there. Adams, like what he doing out there. Will Harris, he had a good game tonight. And Brandon Powell, I like what he did tonight, man. They was more prepared tonight. So you got to respect that. They were more prepared tonight, man. So it seemed like Patricia getting more structure with the, scheduling the meetings and having this team prepared. And they performed better tonight. That's all I wanted to see is more professional attitude, more structured team, ready to go out there. Look like they're ready to fire on all cylinders. And now that they did that, win and loss didn't matter. But really, my only cause for concern, and I'll probably talk about this tomorrow morning, is Matthew Stafford. He played like 2 series last preseason in the second game. And I think he really injured. It may not be a major injury, but like I said, he had something on the shoulder while he's throwing today, and he played in the second game last year. I think he played 2 or 3 series. So they say protecting their asset, load management. I smell a little bit of malarkey there. But hey, moving on to the third preseason game, dress rehearsal. And if Stafford don't play then, I think a lot more people have more concern than I do. Murder City Sports Talk. Appreciate it. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, response, share video requests. Share the videos. Moving on to UFC 241. If you want to hear my thoughts over there. Not big MMA guy, but check my other channel out, Goodfellas Sports TV. Appreciate the love, support. We gone.